I'm Chris Bell, physiotherapist for the Western Bulldogs. I'm here today on behalf of the Victorian Amateur Football Association and LifeCare. We're going to be running through some taping techniques and some injury prevention tips. Hope you enjoy. What we're going to do today is we're going to do the AC joint. Now the AC joint is different than anterior shoulder taping. The AC joint typically happens from a hip and shoulder or a fall onto the side of the arm, and they're typically sore on the point of the shoulder rather than being apprehensive up in this position. This joint is also put under a lot of load in horizontal flexions as it comes across the body. So the two tests you look for with this joint are pain coming across the body and pain on palpation of that actual joint. Now it's typically a compressive injury where the joints smash together, and it can sometimes be unstable where the collarbone actually pops up a little bit. The idea of this taping is to hold the collarbone down and while lifting up the weight to the upper arm, because those two things are the things that are coming apart with this injury. So first part of the taping, once again an anchor. This anchor is a little bit different because we are going to apply a little bit of pressure. So with this anchor, it's going to come across the collarbone. So you start from the back, actually come forward, use your hand to apply a little bit of downward pressure on the collarbone, pull down and stick your anchor. As you can see, we get a little bit of creasing around this part of the skin, giving you an idea that we're actually having an impact on pulling that clavicle down and causing a little bit of downward force through there. So once again, apply a little bit of pressure down, come down and stick. So first of all, we're applying downward pressure, which is taking the clavicle down. Now the focus is to try and lift the weight of the upper arm up to bring the joint together. We come with another anchor around the forearm. Flex your bicep for me. Like so. Okay, now it's a matter of joining the two together. You ask the athlete to lift their arm up just a little bit. Good. To activate your upper trapezius, which takes the weight of the upper arm. You have a strip at the back. It basically comes up. And you want to make a cross on the top part of the AC joint. So you have one coming from the back and then one coming from the front. So you start from the front part of the bicep, coming up over the shoulder, and once again trying to form a cross right on the top of the AC joint. Now you repeat this step 3 times to try and reinforce it, because otherwise it tends to tear. So once again, apply pressure on the way up and stick. And from the front, applying pressure on the way up and stick. Repeat 3 times, then it's a matter of locking off again. So coming over with your anchor, apply a little bit of pressure coming down and stick. Another one to the inside. And then locking off once again with the athlete flexing their bicep. And relax. And as you can see, this lifts the humerus up, pulls down the clavicle and approximates that joint. So if there is any instability from the ligaments being sprained on the AC joint, it's held nice and tight. And it also sometimes acts to restrict some of that horizontal flexion where the joint's under most load. So we're doing 2 things. We're bringing the joint together and we're limiting the range of motion that's putting it in its most vulnerable position. AC joint strapping.